And today's spooky spot, we're having a look at the Diamond Select Universal Studios home of the original monsters. We're looking at the Toys R Us exclusive Frankenstein's Monster Black and White versus and including the Dracula Black and White. A great set. Picked this up at Toys R Us. I would say if any reason for there to be a repaint of the original set, this is the set to go with a black and white version. And I'm really glad that they seem to release with every Minimate monster pack. They always seem to release, at least of the classic ones, a black and white version as well. They've done it with the Black Lagoon, a creature from the Black Lagoon, and I believe they also did it with the Wolfman. So, very cool. On the back of the package, the other Minimates in this set are Dr. Van Helsing. We have Dr. Henry Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein. Hugh Jackman as the Villager. We have Frankenstein's Monster, Dracula, and then the black and white version of the two. The Frankenstein's Monster reads, the most famous tale of Dr. Frankenstein's monster is still the 1931 Frankenstein starring Boris Karloff as the monster created from the body parts of the deceased and given life through artificial means. The monsters ultimately turn on its master and on humanity. And the read-up on Dracula says, sleeping in a coffin by day and preying on beautiful women by night, the man called Count Dracula is not a man but a vampire. Following his voyage from the mountains of the Transylvania to London, the 1931 Universal Studios adaptation of Bram Stoker's novel remains the most iconic. It certainly does. Which also reminds this guy, I want to start watching those this year. I want to make that, try to make a tradition every year, but that's packaging aside. What we're going to do is get this opened up, and we're going to have a look at the two variants, the black and white version of Frankenstein's Monster and Dracula. Stay tuned, guys. There is more spine-tingling review to come. If you dare, stay tuned. Now, again, the one thing I really like about this set is the fact that they're black and white. The original release of these movies were in black and white, so a perfect no-brainer, if you really ask this guy, to release these in a 2-pack, or at least in a black and white version. Let's first have a look at Frankenstein. Really, Spot? You're still going to keep calling him Frankenstein? Yep, I'm totally going to do it. He is the exact same Frankenstein as it was in the original. Let's bring him in right there. Yeah, they're definitely twins. Well, except one has a pigmentation problem. He's a little pale. The bodies really are, they really didn't have to do much in the way of bodies. The bodies were already black, except for the arms there. But yes, it is the exact same figure. I do like the green, really, because it's, iconic to Frankenstein, but it's a very refreshing to see it in a black and white version as well, and I really, really like that. So I would say for any reason to get both, it's definitely nice to get a black and white version of him. His body is the exact same as I mentioned. His articulation, as with every other Minimate, his head can move up and down, left and right. His arms can move out. You can bend at the elbow, rotate the hand. You rotate the waist. The legs can bend back and forth. Hey, my cat's playing in the background. What's going on over there? Oh, he's such a little... What? I'll play with him later, don't worry. You can rotate the waist. You can bend the legs back and forth, bend at the knee, and rotate at the foot. And there you have Frankenstein. Put him down. You'll also notice he's taller than Dracula, which I really, really like as well. And let's have a look at Dracula. Again, a very cool repaint. There's the original. Now, there's something to be said about the fact he's in color with the red and everything else that really makes the figure stand out, the Minimate. But again, to get a black and white version of it, a no-brainer if you ask me, but still a very cool Minimate. Now, if anyone follows the Angry Video Game Nerd, he's been covering the horror movies in the last little while for October, and I just watched his review on the Frankenstein versus Dracula. And I have to agree, it's a shame that there hasn't really been a true, Dracula versus Frankenstein's monster. A true versus movie, very similar to a Freddy versus Jason. If Hollywood was smart, and I know they're always quick to throw out a remake and churn out the exact same plots over and over again, a no-brainer again would be, for me at least, I'd love to see a Dracula versus Frankenstein movie. And the cape is very, very cool. I just love these Minimates. The articulation is the exact same, so I won't cover both. Articulation the same. It's the exact same. But this is a very cool 2-pack, a Toys R Us exclusive. Today's spooky spot, we're having a look at the black and white variant to the Frankenstein's monster and Dracula. Plus, the benefit of this set is that you get both monsters in 1 pack versus having to buy 2 packs. So, if you don't necessarily want the Dr. Van Helsing and the Dr. Frankenstein, and you just want the monsters, this is probably the best way to get it. So, there you go. This set, I'm going to give a very frightening 8. Worth picking up, my friends. Today's spooky spot, we're having a look at the Universal Studios home of the original monsters. We're looking at the Minimates, featuring a black and white Frankenstein and a black and white Count Dracula. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more spooky spots to come, and I'll see you guys next time.